asking.
Thank you for coming in, bro. So everyone who hasn't heard about Frankie, he has created and grown multiple brands for the past 15 years. He is the owner of Tune in Tokyo, Drip Creations, and he has generated over 8 figures in sales throughout his whole career in e-commerce. And today's gonna be a very special call because we're gonna be asking him questions about his background. You guys will be able to get to ask him questions yourself as well. And like Frankie and I, we've been working together for around almost 5 months now, and it's just keep growing and growing. And yeah, I'm very excited to be able to present to you guys Frankie Quiroz. So, what's up, bro? How you been?
Good, good. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm pumped up here. So like Jesse was saying, I've been building brands specifically in like fashion and apparel and streetwear for over 15 years since I was 15 years old. I'm 32 years old now, and I've done over 60 million in sales throughout like my entire career. And yeah, man, I started just like a lot of you, with nothing, no handouts, no rich parents. I'm first generation American, so it's a big deal for me to like be where I am today. You know, as far as like the legacy of my future family, I've definitely shifted because all of my family, they're most of them are like gangsters. Most of them grew up in bad areas. They're either from Mexico or they're from here, and they haven't had a good chance of like success or a good chance to live a good life here. So I've definitely changed the route of my family journey. And that was like the main thing that I did this for. I wanted to become a better person so that when I got my age right now that I am today, I could have my own family and I would stop all the bullshit that has happened in the last 100 years of my family line. So my last name means a lot to me, and I think that I'm doing a pretty great job so far. And yeah, my God-given talent is consumer behavior and digital psychology. So what this means is I know how to read people based on like how they act, what they like, what they don't like, and stuff like that. So it's a big factor in why I'm successful today. And I feel like a lot of you should definitely try to understand what those two words are. Is digital psychology has definitely changed my life, and if you're a great marketer, then you definitely know what digital psychology is.
No, definitely, definitely. Once again, thank you. We really appreciate your time. And honestly, bro, I think it's very motivational because I feel us as Hispanics and specifically Mexicans, there's not really a lot of people that are doing e-commerce or even being recognized. And it's our time to shine. And I know for you, bro, you're up there, bro. And congrats to you of all your accomplishments and everything you've done. And yeah, man, we really appreciate it once again. So can you please list out the name of the brands that you built yourself?
Yeah, so Tuned in Tokyo, it's a clothing brand. And if you guys, the best way to paint the picture is if you guys have seen Fast and the Furious, I made a clothing brand for people that love Japanese JDM cars. I didn't grow up with fucking Beamers and Lamborghinis and shit like the cars that I have now, but I grew up with these shitty Hondas that you basically tune up. And so when Fast and the Furious came out, I was in love with that movie. I was in love with like all of that. And they never had a fucking clothing brand. They never had a brand for that specific niche. And so when I started Tuned in Tokyo, we blew up and we became the brand for that niche. Fast forward to 2019, my younger sister, she's living with me. She's making shoes in my casita. I had this like little room, and she was making custom shoes on Etsy, selling them. And I saw that she was selling over 6 figures a year on Etsy. And I light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, yo, we need to turn this into a brand. So I created my own shoe company called Drip Creations. And yeah, that one blew up. We did 4.6 million our first year, and then over 10 million every single year after that. So I had two different brands. One's shoes that's crushing it, and one's Tuned in Tokyo, which is a fucking empire, you know? And so back to back, those are the brands. If you guys want to look them up.
No, that's badass, bro. Honestly, that's awesome. And so let's say those are two completely different niches, right? Because everyone here, I know for the majority of the part, are doing hats, right? Not a lot of people are focusing on like clothing, and then you mentioned shoes as well. So, what were some of the challenges that you faced when creating those brands and scaling them?
There's a lot of challenges when it comes to building a brand, and you got, if you guys are doing like hats and shit, which is great. I always say that like the world doesn't need another fucking t-shirt and hoodie company. It gets very difficult, but hats is a selected item. It's a specialty item. And with shoes, when I created this shoe brand, it's a specialty item. It's very fucking difficult to do and difficult to make. And I think that the harder the brand is to create, the harder it is for competition to actually. If all of you guys are doing hats, you're going to have to figure out a way to stand out. And the best way to stand out is to dominate your market. So learn online marketing, everything that there is to do about running Facebook ads, branding, even doing some organic stuff, like the stuff that most of you guys are probably doing. But yeah, so the challenges that I've dealt with over time, I mean, there's been quite a few. I think the biggest challenge is just trying to build a team, because a lot of you guys that are starting out, it's just one of you. And how are you going to compete when it's just one of you versus someone like me that has a team of 15 to 20 people? It's very difficult to compete. I think building a team and understanding like the business foundation of things is what's really going to help people, because you hear about this shit all the time. All the musicians, all the rappers are like, yeah, I want to start a fucking clothing brand. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that. But they don't understand business. The people that have made the most money in this world, including rappers and musicians, are the ones that understand how business works. There's fucking foundational stuff, there's overhead. You start building a team. And at the very beginning, I didn't know none of that. I was a creative guy, fucking shooting my own videos, making my own designs, and coming up with whatever I can. Eventually, I really started getting into the business mindset and learning how to learn. And that was a big deal, bro. Is a lot of the challenges just came from making mistakes, messing with the wrong people, working with the wrong manufacturers that always delayed my shit, whether it was creating a website and I didn't know how to set up a payment processor correctly, and then eventually they held all my money. I've had that happen. Being in lawsuits, there's always situations that happen, including like forgetting to trademark some stuff, and then I have to get into a lawsuit with someone. So there's been a bunch of shit. The biggest mistake all of you fucking guys can make, all of you guys, because none of us were taught this shit when we were in high school or growing up, is taxes. You have to figure out your taxes. You can't just fucking do $100,000, $200,000 a year and expect not to pay taxes. You can literally go to jail, ruin your life over a few $100,000 a year. So the tax mitigating taxes and trying to figure out how to save as much money as possible is cool too. You want to create your LLC. If you're fucking born in Mexico and you're not an American right now, get your primo prima to fucking that was born here to create the LLC for you. You have to have an LLC. That's the number one thing, because if you're running shit with a bank account versus a business bank account, you don't get tax write-offs, and you need tax write-offs. You can make $200,000 a year in sales, write off a bunch of shit, and pay maybe less than a couple grand a year in taxes. But if you running everything through your personal, then you're gonna pay the full amount of taxes. So creating an LLC is fucking a mandatory thing.
No, definitely, bro, definitely. And so let's say when in the beginning part you mentioned about marketing, organic, running ads, and all that. What has helped you scale your brands from six figures to seven to eventually eight through your marketing skills?
Yeah. Well, definitely learning how to like run my own ads was a big deal. Influencer marketing and meme page marketing. This is a big one for all of you guys. Okay, note how many people are on here? 40. You guys fucking picked a great day to hop on here because I'm about to drop a fucking gem for all of you. The way I took Tuned in Tokyo from $300,000 its first year to the next year doing almost $2 million was from meme page marketing. And meme pages have blown up again. Like this was maybe what 8 years ago that they were like on the rise. Well, guess what happened? Since TikTok was released, Instagram is now actually trying to compete with TikTok with user attention. So videos, reels, all that shit is popping more than ever now. And meme pages are literally built off of Instagram reels right now. So any Mexican page, any fucking promotional page, you guys know what I'm talking about, those funny little clip videos or pages that are made to entertain people. Those are the ones that you need to reach out to and start setting up promos with them. And don't just buy one, buy 5 to 10, buy in bulk. So like you guys know the wholesale game, right? When you hit up someone, you're like, I don't want to buy one, I want to buy 10 or 15. Well, you're going to get a better deal. So that's what you do with these promo pages. You buy 10 to 15 promos at a time and you tell them when those 10 or 15 are up, I'm going to renew and buy another 10, 15 from you. So you go from paying $100 for one post to paying $40 per post because you're buying 10 and not fucking one post. So you save money in the long run. And so that's how we started. We were working with over 2,000 pages with Tuned in Tokyo. We also bought our own pages too eventually because it was car pages. You know, you guys follow probably some car pages too. We had a huge amount of pages we were working with. Then eventually I learned how to run ads, mix both of them together, and it was game over. That organic kind of comes naturally, you know, as you run ads, as you're fucking doing all this meme page marketing, you start getting a lot of followers, and we gained 2 million followers because of that.
Wow, no, that's really good, bro. That's how you utilize different strategies in terms of marketing. And let's say when scaling your brands, what were some strategies when it came to branding themselves so you could maintain a loyal fan base through those brands?
You guys need to work on a brand identity. So like we got the Bible, right? That basically shows you the fundamentals of how you should be a good Catholic, you know, in your family. Well, you got to create a Bible for your business. The colors that you use, the fonts that you use, the layouts, everything has to be you. So when I see like a Fino video, I know it's Fino. When I see a guy, like whenever Jesse's putting together some of his content, I've seen it so many times and him doing it this certain way that when someone copies him, I know someone copies him. That's Fino. And Jesse and I have talked before, and he's shown me some stuff from like bigger brands in different fields, like Represent, and they have a certain style too, and you can tell that that's their style. Well, everyone has their style. You got to write those things down, make like a little fucking mood board on Pinterest or whatever of how your brand is supposed to look like. So whenever I see it on an ad or I see a post when I'm scrolling on my feed, I know it's you, and you brand yourself that way. The logo, the look, what the font, the style, everything has to be unison. And the most important thing of all is you got to understand your customer. So your hat company right now, this business might not be the one. It might make you some money, but it might not be the one. It might be number 3, number 4, number 5. The way you're going to make the most money in this game is literally understanding who you're selling it to. So what you're selling and who you're selling it to. The moment you figure out who you're selling your products to, you figure out what they like, what they don't like, the movies they watch, the music they listen to, how they dress. You start creating products for a certain person, a certain community, a niche within that community. It's fucking game over. It's like giving candy to kids. You know, they'll eat it no matter what. So a lot of the time when I'm creating products or building these brands, the product is already sold. I made it for them. I didn't make it for me. It's my latest brand, guys, is called Quiroz, my last name. It's a designer brand. The shit that I'm wearing right now, it's like it's crazy. We do a bunch of crazy shit. This is the first company that I've ever built that I'm wearing. Before then, I never wore my shit. It was always made for people. If people wanted to buy pink, I'm gonna give them pink. If they like purple, I ain't gonna wear that shit, but they wear that shit. You're not make Don't get high on your own supply. You're not making it for yourself. You're making it for them. So those are major things. And when you understand that shit, it's game fucking over. You guys are in a great niche because you guys, most of you are like Mexican or Mexican background. So you guys understand what Mexicans like. Make shit for them. Whatever it is that makes them laugh, whatever that makes them happy. Those are the type of shit you guys gotta sell. I have a brand called Park Friends where we make custom jerseys for people that go to Disneyland or Universal Studios. And crazy, crazy brand. It's like the most simple shit ever, but people are eating it up. The reason why we're selling over $100,000 a month with that brand off 2 drops a month is because we are making products where people like wear to the happiest place on earth. So think about those things. Maybe people are buying Gallo Fino because one, it's limited, but the other thing is that they actually feel good. Isn't that what clothing is supposed to be? It's supposed to make you feel good. So you guys are forgetting that shit. Another thing too that has helped me because we're pretty much all on the same background here is I wanted to become a multi-millionaire since I was like 8 years old because I had a few reasons on why I needed this money. It wasn't to get a fucking crazy car. It wasn't to get a dope ass crib. It wasn't to flex on people that talk shit on me. It was none of that. I wanted to literally fucking buy my mom a house and buy myself a house and change the directory of my family timeline. I wanted to be the first rich person in my family, and I needed to take care of myself and my family because I knew that they weren't going to be able to take care of me. So I know a lot of you guys that are listening to this shit, you guys probably have the same feeling, same background. Well, use that to motivate your ass to get up, work fucking hard, and get this money. But you have to have your reasons on why. You can't just be like, I want to fucking be rich and flex on everyone. That's gonna last. You might get it and you're gonna lose it. The hardest part, guys, isn't becoming a millionaire. The hardest part is keeping your money once you become a millionaire. Everyone's trying to grab. Check it out. I made over like 60 million in sales, right? And in 2021, which was going to be my biggest fucking year. Biggest year. And I had the most money I ever had in my bank account. You guys want to know what happened? I got sued by Nike, literally by Nike. You guys can Google it. Google my name and Nike, Google Drip Creations and Nike. You're going to see it all over. It's a big fucking lawsuit. They were coming after me for millions and millions of dollars. All the money that I had, my house, my cars, every fucking thing that I have, they were coming after everything. They don't fuck around. And so the hardest part isn't getting to a million, becoming a millionaire. The hardest part is learning how to keep your millions and then multiplying it. So you guys got ways to go, but hopefully that helps, man.
Oh well, that's that's a lot, bro. And let's say out of the brands that you've created, which one so far has been probably the one that you've been very passionate about when it comes to creating it?
The latest one that I have is Quiroz. It hasn't made the most money because I just launched it like 5 months ago. But
Hmm.
yeah, the other two, I mean, I was passionate about Tuned in Tokyo 10 years ago. Well, guys, I started that brand in 2015. We're still going. We're almost 10 years old. And I used to have a lot of passion about that, but 10 years happened and I changed in those 10 years. I don't like those certain things, so certain cards or the crowds. But this brand that I have right now is definitely the biggest challenge is Quiroz, which I am trying to become like the first Hispanic designer company because I see all of you fucking wear a Mary, all of you guys wear Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Well, those motherfuckers, 90% of them, they're not even American, they're from Europe. And then the 10%, they're not Hispanic. There isn't one Latino designer company that's dominating. So I'm trying to be the first one in that field. Um, so it's definitely the most passionate I've been about a brand for sure because it's my last name. But yeah, I mean, I love Tuned. I love Drip Creations, the brands that I built. Those two are really cool, man.
Oh, that's good, bro. That's good. And so just to end it off, let's say with myself before we get into the Q&A, what would be like one word of advice that would give out to us today,
I guess the one word of or just
or a
the
sentence?
the best advice I can give you all is to like invest into education and learning. What was it? It was like fucking because like prior to 2017, guys, I was just doing it, making a mistake, and then learning. Doing it, making a mistake, and learning. A little just tackling, you know. But every mistake that I made, thank God they were small. It costs. It costs time and it costs money and I just piled it, piled it, piled it. And then 2017, I was like, man, I gotta fucking start learning some shit. Like I gotta start learning on how not to do things. And so I started like reading books. I started watching a bunch of YouTube shit and learning. I got like a mentor then, and that fucking helped a lot because now I had somebody to ask them questions, and that was a big deal. Is investing time into like getting smarter. You're not going to make it in this life if you're not growing. You have to become smart. You have to become more wise. And I know it's cheesy like when people say the more you learn, the more you earn. It's fucking true. It's the truth. The smarter you are, the more wise you are, the more money you are going to make. And the best advice I can give to anybody today is you will never go broke if you learn these three things. Number one is if you learn how to actually like make people money. Like if you like I'm talking about service space here. If you learn how to make people money, it's wild because every charity, every church organization, every fucking thing that revolves around this world revolves around money. And if you learn how to make money, marketing wise or whatever it is, you will never go broke. The second thing is learning how to save people time. So save people time. That's a huge thing. Eventually, when you guys get so much money, you're not gonna want to do a lot of these like little fucking tasks, a little things. So you start to delegate. So you start to build a team. I don't want to do customer service. You hire this person. I don't want to fucking talk to the clothing manufacturers. You're going to talk to this person. I don't even want to do my marketing. I'm going to hire someone. You start focusing on the high level stuff that your brand was built on. So saving time. And the third thing is learning how to save money because you can make 10 million a year, but if you're spending 9.9 million a year, you're not really making a lot of money. So you have to learn how to do those three things and you'll never go broke. Because if you learn how to make money or learn how to make money for other people through marketing and branding, whatever it is, this we live in a digital world. The second thing is if you learn how to save time because now you're spending your time on the shit that is making you the most money throughout the day. And the third thing is obviously learning how to save money. That's a huge thing. You want to keep the money that you make. So I'll leave it at that.
Oh, that's great, bro. Honestly, I really appreciate it. So now we're gonna proceed to the Q&A section, so you guys can raise your hand, and then from there we'll just go one by one, and we'll go through it right now. Yo, Kai, where do I open in the queue? Right? Okay, cool. We got Lopez Hats. Our first question over here.
Um,
I think you're muted, bro.
Someone said they did a
are you guys able to hear me now?
high school project on me. I think or
That's crazy.
college. That's dope.
Yo, Lopez Hats, what's up, bro?
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we're able to hear you now.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Copy.
Um,
Oh, my boy's cutting out. He's probably driving.
Compa Chuy,
¿Qué
¿te puedo
dice?
preguntar algo rapidito antes de que mi compa López pregunte?
Sí, 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 pues parece que no tiene audio.
Yo la vez pasada que estábamos haciendo mi primer llamada que tuve aquí, estábamos preguntando como todos así conforme íbamos en la llamada. Ahorita yo también la pasada llamada miré que nombrabas a personas como López Hats. Primera pregunta, ¿por qué nombras a alguien primero y luego?
Es porque acá tengo, la gente puede levantar las manos, ¿verdad? Bueno, obviamente no levantan su mano, pero hay una función donde ponen ahí un botón y aquí me
Ok,
aparece
ok. Antes
conforme.
de ahí saca los nombres.
Sí, sí, sí.
Ahí está, gracias.
No, no, sí, sí, no hay problema. Okay, I think Lopez Hats, his audio is going away, so we're gonna go with David Santos is next.
They're getting camera shy, bro. Yo, you might have to unmute yourself, David. How do you say you in Spanish, bro?
I'm sorry?
You might have to tell him in Spanish to unmute himself.
David, puedes quitar tu micrófono si gustas. I think he's cutting out because his video's also cutting out.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's good, bro?
All right. Just want to go, first of all, Jesse and Frankie, give you guys your flowers because I know it's not easy doing what you did. Congrats on that. Wait, first of all, because I was like, I had a question. Frankie, you said Nike was trying to sue you, but like, isn't like, what's the LLC? Isn't that protected? Isn't that what it's for?
No, they're smart, man. When you got money, you got the best lawyers in the world. And the number one thing that they tried to do was they found a loophole, and the loophole was trademark infringement. And trademark infringement is a federal case, and because it became federal, they were able to come after me personally. So they listed me on the lawsuit. So they sued me personally and my business. I
But you
thought
think
that
it's
too.
right.
I thought that I was able to be protected because of the LLC, but that's why LLC is called limited liability. There's
Mm.
limited so
What?
yeah,
But you
there's
think if it
nothing.
was like someone other than Nike, you think you would have been good though? Just because it was Nike, like obviously like, one of the most best brands out there.
Well, we anybody can sue anybody. I could sue you right now
Right.
just because I could just sue the fuck out of you right now. And if you don't have money to hire a lawyer, you're gonna lose. And whatever I sued you for, it is what it is. It's sad. It's sad that it's like that, but it's the truth. So there's ways to protect yourself. The way I protected myself, thank God, man, I did this. Was I hired? I hired. This is level 10 shit though, guys. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
do this. This is you making 10 million a year, okay? If you're at that point, you're going to want to get an asset protection trust. And basically what an asset protection trust does is it separates you as a person from all of the different things that you own. For instance, my cars are no longer Frankie Quiroz. They are owned by my trust. This bank account that I have all my money in is no longer my money. Frankie Quiroz only has $100,000 in the bank, but this bank account here that's under my trust has the millions. And that's what I did. I started separating myself
Mm.
from things that I own. The other thing too that saved my ass, and this is what I was saying, thank God, was I had business insurance. And business insurance basically covered up to like $1 million of the lawsuit. Most of them do. You're gonna want $1 million. And they cover litigation, which means your attorney, and they cover settlement. But if you go over a million, you're gonna have to cough up that money. So it's kind of like auto insurance, they help you with that. So those two things protect you from you like getting like in a lawsuit and you losing money. That's what it helps you with. So it ain't the
Oh
end
no.
of the world,
Okay.
bro. Not everybody's Nike. Like Nike's a Fortune 500 company, man. They're worth $1 billion. Like not everyone's on that level. Because I've been into other lawsuits with competitors, and those were nothing. I mean, those are child's play, man. This was the scariest thing. Yeah, they put you in a fucking conference room, and in the conference room, I don't know if you guys seen The Social Network, but it's like 10 lawyers, a person recording you, and one typing every word that you say. And I only had one lawyer. You know, it got to the point where I had to hire Yeezy's general counsel to help.
What?
Yeah, that's how I settled. I hired Kanye West's attorneys
And how do you make those
and
connections? Like, how do you know them and stuff? Or like, how do you
personal
reach out to them?
building a personal brand has helped. So like I pay $100,000 a year to be a part of a group, and in the group there's a bunch of fucking me's, if not better, you know, and they have their own connects, and
Um,
I hit up people in the group, and they gave me the connection to Yeezy.
and
Wow.
also like what you said about like how you said like don't get high on your supply. Like you've never really wore the shirts you've made like the what is it called, the drift one? What are they called? Like you
The
never wore nothing until your latest, which is the designer one. Is that really true?
Yeah, the only time I ever wore it was if I was filming a video where I had to wear it. But
Right,
if I
right.
didn't,
Just to
I
promote
would
it.
take off, literally take it off right after. I never had Tuned in Tokyo in my closet, bro. Never had it. It was only for promotional purposes. That's it. I still don't. Till this day, I still don't.
Um, and it's just because you're making stuff that the audience, the people, the customers want to buy, right?
Yeah, like I didn't like it. I like the simple shit. I don't like big graphics, a bunch of colors, and that's what we were doing for Tuned in Tokyo. I created a new collection recently where like I would wear it, you know, and
Right,
think I have
right,
one shirt. I haven't wore it, but I have one shirt. Um, yeah, man. But it wasn't made for me, it was made for them.
right,
And at the
right.
end of the
And I never really
day,
looked at it like that perspective, to be honest. I never really looked at it like that, and it's really
like
true.
Jesse, do you wear every hat that you make?
I only wear some, not all of them.
But like you make like 14 hats every collection. Out of those 14, you're probably gonna wear like 3 or 4, you know?
Yeah, yeah, around there.
The rest of them are made for you guys. There's only certain ones that
Right,
he
right, right.
likes. And just because he doesn't like it or wouldn't wear it doesn't mean he's not gonna release it. It's not for him. Guy
It's for
Ofino's
the
for everyone
um,
else.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. So Lopez Hacks is saying that his mic isn't working, but his question is, I wanted to ask, what is the best way and objective to set up ads and a good daily budget to start off with?
Yeah, so the best objective to set up ads depends on what you're doing. If you're doing hype drops, you're gonna want to set up your objective or your optimization to there's two ones. Engagement. So you either want engagement on a post that you currently already have, or traffic campaigns. Those are the two, because traffic leads people to your site to sign up for SMS, and engagement ads leads people to your posts so that you get more signups. So if you're running, let's say Guy Ofino post a fucking giveaway post, right? Well, I'm gonna run engagement ads to that because I want people to engage with that post, whether it's liking, commenting, whatever, because those trigger people to follow, to be a part of a giveaway, to try to get free shit. And that all leads back to the site. While I'm doing this, I'm also doing traffic campaigns. This is if you're doing hype drops and your store is like locked. If it's open, you just want to do conversions all the time. And I start my ads at like $20. Let's say I only have $500 in my pocket. I want to do $20 campaigns, starting off with Facebook only, not TikTok, no Google. $20 campaigns, and every single day I start to increase the budget little by little by little. So if my $20 a day makes me $60, that's a 3x. Cool. I'm gonna go from $20 to 40. And then little by little, you just start stacking and stacking and stacking. And instead of increasing the budget, don't get lazy. Launch more campaigns, create more content, continue to launch more and more campaigns. When I so even though like Guy Ofino, he like only has a store open for like an hour, you know, during that hour or even before when I'm running traffic, I max out the amount of ads that he has. So I launched so many fucking ads, it's ridiculous. And that's what you guys want to do. You guys don't want to just create one campaign and then let it run. You know, I have literally like 4 or 5 different campaigns made up of like maybe 30 ad sets, and every single ad set has anywhere from 4 to 10 ads, 10 creatives. So if you do the math, that's like 3 to 500 ads that I'm launching.
No, that's really good. Okay. We have a compa Irving. It's good, bro.
Sí, mi pregunta es, ¿qué tipo de contenido o qué tipo de contenido es el que el que recomiendas usar en las campañas esas? O sea, cuando estás corriendo campañas, ¿tiene que ser contenido hablando, contenido nomás de la gorra, contenido del producto? ¿O cuál es la mejor manera o la mejor opción que han mirado que funciona mejor?
He's asking what type of content would you highly recommend, let's say, when launching hats, and what type of like strategies would you utilize, let's say, for those type of products?
Yeah, I think that I don't know how to say that in Spanish, pero sí, puedes hacer UGC. How do you say UGC in Spanish? The user generated content.
Okay.
So yeah.
If you understand English, it's just easier for me in Spanish. You can say
Yeah. So the shit, honestly, look, Jesse shit is fire for sure. But if you guys just do that like basic ass shit with your phone, recording it, taking the fucking pictures on like something that's like plain background, not white backdrops, none of that professional shit. I'm saying like maybe you have it on the ground or on top of a truck or something like that, but be consistent with it. It doesn't have to be professional. I'm talking about the ads that make you the most money are usually the most simple. And then eventually, once you start making more money, you can go more professional and better and brand your stuff. But at the beginning, like I never had the money to even go crazy. With Drip, all of our products when we first launched were on grass. I just put the shoes on grass and just took pictures, iPhone pics. And that's what made us our first $4 million. I see a lot of that happening for you guys too. It's all about content, man. Another type of good content too is speaking to the camera. So like maybe it's not as professional as Jesse, but like you putting a camera in front of you and you talking about the collection, the hats, where they're made, why you made it this way. Those are big content. So just recording shit and not being afraid too. A lot of you guys are afraid to be in front of the camera and just talk. Don't be afraid. Just fucking do it. Those are the best ones that work out. Or when you're just talking to the camera.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Zach Urban.
Hola, buenas noches a todos. Bueno, tengo dos dudas. La principal, bueno, yo tengo una marca de gorras y tengo distribución en Colombia y en México. Pero actualmente lo que se me complica es el tiempo para los drops. O sea, ahora que estoy haciendo el tercero, me demora un mes y medio desde que mandé a hacer la producción. Entonces, ese mes y medio, no sé si es normal que le pase a todas las personas o si es solo mi fabricante. Y pues, ¿qué tipo de contenido o qué le puedo ofrecer a mis seguidores en ese tiempo para que no se aburran en esa espera?
No,
Maybe,
pues,
yeah, you want to answer this?
yeah, when it comes to the job. Pues cuando uno va empezando, la verdad, por ejemplo, yo cuando empecé con Gallo Fino, siempre tuve el inventario disponible todo el tiempo, ¿verdad? No era como ahorita que tengo drops y saco literalmente cada 2 meses. Y durante esos meses, si ustedes se dan cuenta, yo no saco contenido para nada, porque pues no es necesario, ¿verdad? No estamos promoviendo nada, entonces no hay razón de hacer eso. Pero para una marca que va empezando, y yo creo que lo mencioné, creo que en la primera llamada que tuvimos, es que sean consistentes en subir, publicar y lanzar cosas así con un buen tiempo ya anticipado, pues. Entonces, ¿usted no quiere enfocarse en los drops o quiere generar ventas así diarias? ¿Cómo le gustaría hacerle por el momento?
Nos llama más la atención hacerlo por drops, porque la gente tiene la esencia de la marca como que es más limitada y le llama más la atención hacer el pago por eso.
Lo que yo te recomendaría es empezar a tener tu marca disponible, por ejemplo, por así disponible todo el mes, porque así te va a dar la oportunidad de sacar ese contenido y sacar esas ventas, y así vas a estar creciendo tu audiencia durante ese tiempo, porque créanlo o no, una semana de no subir contenido pierdes ahí tiempo. Un mes es mucho más y 2 meses también es demasiado. Pero ya, por ejemplo, marcas grandes como la mía que está sacando Hype Jobs, no se necesita porque nosotros ya hemos construido esa base fundamental, que yo creo que es lo más esencial que pues uno, como tú, que quieres empezar a hacer eso, que tienes que construir ahorita, porque pues todos esos niveles, ¿verdad? Poco a poco tienes que crear tu base y ya poco a poco pues vas subiendo. Entonces sería lo que yo te recomendaría a ti si van empezando y tal vez a todos los demás también. Ok, perfecto, perfecto. Luis Aguirre.
Cuando creas, no, no, cuando registras tu marca, ¿qué son las cosas que cambian? Porque me imagino que cuando registras una marca hay como distintas reglas, cosas que puedes hacer y no hacer. ¿Qué es lo que cambia cuando tú registras tu marca?
¿Para mí o para Frankie?
No sé.
No, pues,
Pues,
que él es una pregunta más así como lo legal, es lo que estás preguntando.
sí, 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 pues lo legal, o sea,
Lo que yo
yo me imagino que cuando tú registras tu marca, o cualquier marca, hay cosas que puedes hacer y no hacer, ¿no?
Pues
Supongo yo.
yo lo que te recomendaría al registrar tu marca es registrar solamente el nombre. Y ya con tener el nombre, ya por ejemplo, no vas a tener así registrado el logo. El logo lo puedes registrar aparte, pero el logo eventualmente puede cambiar. Y al registrar la marca, nomás registras el puro nombre. O sea, no registras este logotipo que tengo aquí, no registras tampoco estás nomás registrando, por ejemplo, yo Gallo Fino Brand, ahí me lo puedo quitar y eso no me limita a lo que puedo sacar, ¿verdad? Entonces, nomás registra el puro nombre y creo que no te enfoques tanto en el logo. Ok. Juan Loza.
Good afternoon, Chuy. Good afternoon, Frankie. Frankie, in the beginning, you mentioned that during your teenage years, you know, you were working hard and stuff. And I had a question on when you were 15 years old, what gave you the motivation to, you know, keep on going and never quit? Because, I'm 17 years old and, I want to know some advice.
Yeah, I mean the best motivation, guys, is like there's a few things. Like number one, if you're broke yourself, that's like motivation number one, right? Number two is if your parents are broke. That's it. That's already enough motivation. So depending on where you grew up, that's all automatically gonna motivate someone like me. And the third thing is if you like have kids. If you have kids, that should be the most motivation you need to get your ass up and keep it going. And the fourth thing is just you understanding that you're not like the best version of yourself. When I was 17, you guys, when I was 17, I grew up here in Riverside, California. And it was crazy because I would go to like I had this rich uncle. He lived in Orange County in Fountain Valley. And when I would go out there, because I'd go out there for summer because it was my cousin. He was like the same age, so I'd go out there and stay with them for like summer and shit. And I would see like the people he hangs out with, where they go fucking. They would actually go eat to dinner. You know, the best dinners I had were just at home. We never went out to eat. We didn't even go to like fucking Sizzlers or Applebee's or none of that shit. It was just like not even the basic shit, you know, like maybe we hit up a buffet once every 6 months, but we never went out to eat. When I would go stay with my uncle, they went out to eat every Sunday. They went to nice places, nice movie theaters, and I started seeing all like the nice fancy shit. And I was just like, well, I want to fucking live like that. Like, why don't we have that? Why is my house? Why do we live in an apartment and they live in a 2-story home? Why do we don't like why don't I have a fucking nice car? Why is the car breaking down when I get um, picked up from school in front of everyone, you know, and get embarrassed? So all that shit, man, I was just like, there has to be a better life. There has to be a better way. And if those people can live that way, then I'm going to live that way somehow, some way. And I always made sure that I did it legally. Like I could have went the route of selling drugs and becoming like, you know, like anybody else that I grew up with, but I was just like, I gotta figure this shit out. I gotta do it like how these people did it because they're the ones that are literally making all the money. Every person that I know that has had money has lost it because they ended up in jail or they ended up killed or whatever. So I think that I was just trying to just live a better life. And the thing about it too, guys, is like I already won in life compared to like when I first started. I already won in life, so I don't need to keep going. So what keeps me still motivated today is just I'm just trying to ride the wave, man. Like I made it this far. Let's see how far I can grow. And like it's dope because every year you get smarter. Like whether you like it or not, you're gonna get smarter. And I learned a lot of shit even in these last 2 years. I remember I was getting a little cocky and shit before I like got sued by Nike because I was, it was a big fucking brand. I had guys, I had a 32,000 square foot warehouse in Corona, California with 60 employees, 2-story building, fully decked out. So I felt like I was invincible. Then Nike sued me, and I learned a lot of shit from that. I thought I could never learn. I was like, well, I'm done learning, I guess. Like, this is it. Like, how much smarter can I get? Then I got sued, and I learned a lot of shit. So it's just like you never stop learning. And I think that that's what I like. I like learning new things because it never like fucking gets, I guess, easier. You just like learn how to deal with this and then learn from it, and then you get better and better.
Cool, cool, cool. So next we have Brian Ortega.
What's up, Tree? What's up, Frankie? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, what's up, bro?
Good, bro.
Sorry, bro. I'm driving. My question is for pretty good for both of you guys. How are you guys able to handle, let's say, like stress? For example, I handle it. Like I go to the gym with the fitness. I think that has a lot to help with like increasing your business and stuff. But like, how are you able, guys, to handle like the stress or running your businesses? What do you guys do like to keep going? You get me? 'Cause, like for example, I have a 2-year-old son. Like you just said, Frankie, that gives me a lot of motivation too. I have my family owns two restaurants, taco restaurants. So right now, I'm trying to start my hat brand as well. But like, how are you guys how do you guys keep pushing? Because sometimes I wake up and I'm like damn, like I really gotta go wake up, working 9 to 5 again. But as it is what you make it to be, and day by day, But what do you guys do like to handle this type of stress, or how do you guys relieve this stuff?
Yeah, it's tough because like when I was starting, before I started Tuned, I had a different brand called Feather, and I used to work at Angels Baseball, and I used to be a wardrobe assistant. And so for Angels Baseball, I would have to get there like I don't really remember too much, but I remember getting there like at like 3 a.m., anywhere from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So I would wake up, get there that early, and then my shift would end maybe like at 7 or 8, sometimes like 10 a.m. or whatever. I'd work like
Yeah,
11 hours. And then after that, I'd be dead. I have videos of me. Like I always wore shades and shit because I wouldn't sleep too much. And then after
yeah,
that, I would actually clock in on my business. So I would work. I maybe sleep 3 hours, get up, work on my business, hustle, hustle, hustle. So it's like the stress and the fear never goes away. I still have fear today. Like, but what happens is
yeah,
you just get more comfortable with it. No amount of money that you make is gonna get rid of that fear and that stress. What is gonna happen is you get comfortable with dealing with that stress. That's it. Like nothing is ever gonna change. You just gotta get more comfortable with it. And I do a bunch of shit like I schedule to have fun. It can't just be business 24/7. I sacrifice a
exactly.
lot of life for this. Like I don't have, I didn't have enough time to go to the gym. I probably didn't eat the best I should have. Like I should have done a lot of things health wise, but I was willing to die, sacrifice myself, like literally die, guys. I was willing to die. I was willing to eat shit, save every penny, do everything I can to make it. I was willing to sacrifice my life. I didn't give a fuck if I died. Now I
Yeah,
care
yeah,
about that, but I literally did not care. Everybody was like, bro, you gotta hit the gym, bro. You're eating like shit, blah blah blah. I was like, I don't care. Every second needs to be on my business. Every Fuck having friends. Fuck going out. Fuck all this. I was 24/7 on my business for 15 years straight. It wasn't about like 2 years ago in like 2022 after the Nike thing that I was just like, I gotta have a little bit of fun. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I still to have fun, bro. I travel a lot. I do a lot of things, and you gotta have to. At the beginning, you gotta. It's gonna be nasty, man. And then that's
It's
why
more like a mental game, right? Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
it is. This shit isn't meant for everyone, man. Like, to be honest, I tell my little brothers that. Like, look, there's people out there like me, sharks and whales. And if you're not willing to fight with the sharks one day, if you can't compete with them, don't even do it. So
Yeah.
this entrepreneurship to me, this is like my, how people watch sports, they like fucking sports. They like basketball, they like football. Entrepreneurship is my sport. This is 24 fucking 7. The best people that I look up to are not athletes. They're motherfucking entrepreneurs. And so
Exactly.
you guys like have to understand that there are people like me ready to take you down. And so you have to like understand that and try to become the best you as that you can be, because there's only one way, and you can't give up. Obviously, like, you're gonna get beat down. You might give up on that business, but you're not gonna give up on yourself.
Exactly.
Like that somebody just said, like, you might be fighting 5 years with no results. That was another big thing too. A lot of you guys quit in like 3 to 6 months. So it's like, to me it's funny because I can ask you right now, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And you might say, like, well, I want to fucking build a brand. It might not be this one, but I want to build a brand that's going to get me paid every single month for the rest of my life. I want to build a business that's going to make me money every month. Well, if you quit in 3 to 6 months, you must have not wanted it to be the rest of your life, because you haven't put in no fucking time to do something the rest of your life.
Mhm.
I put in 10 years of my life before I made my first million. 10 fucking years. Are you guys willing to
And
do
it
the
was all
same?
worth it, right?
It was way worth it, bro. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. By the way, guys, I bought my mom a house 4 months ago in Texas, Houston, cash, bought it. She doesn't have to fucking pay nothing.
Congrats.
So of course it was worth it. I did everything that I accomplished, like, or that I set out to. I accomplished it all.
The reason I asked was because back then I'd say like maybe like 3 years ago I started a car wash business, but then I got more invested in my helping out my family, and now I regret it because it was going well at first, but I regret it because I stopped, and now I think back and I'm like, damn, like I don't know where I would have been at if I kept on going. I'm sure I would have been at a better spot now. But like I know a lot of us right here, like wake up and we're like, damn, like do I really want to do this? Like, is it even worth it? Like, am I doing the right thing? We all have the same questions, but I think like, if you have discipline, that's really like a big issue. Like even like for example, let's say even picking up a sock from your living room floor, I think that could lead you a long way. Like just those little things, if you start practicing those little things, I feel like it'll take you a long way. Like just those
Yeah.
little details make a big difference. So thank
Jesse,
you guys.
as a 20-year-old, how do you deal with stress?
Well, I personally feel like I have a large stress like tolerance because I've been doing a lot of stuff ever since I was like 12, 11. I feel like I have a stress tolerance of like if I were like 30, but I sometimes just take time to reset. I travel here and there, but I've noticed that every time that I travel, it kind of sets me back with the momentum that I've been building. That's why I haven't traveled recently. A lot of people have asked me, "Hey, bro, why haven't you traveled recently?" Because like in the beginning of the year and last year, I was just going to Dubai, going to Europe, back and forth. So that kind of set me back from the momentum that I was building. And right now, like I like this stress, I like this pressure because it tells me that I'm moving forward, and it's telling me that my brands are they're gonna keep growing. My business is gonna keep growing. So right now, like I'm gonna tolerate it for a couple more months, and we're just gonna keep on building what we already set up like in the past year. So right now it's just no excuses and just keep on going because I don't want to stop. I like this. I like this pressure, honestly.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Cool. So Enfocado brand, your next bro. Get the Amex. Now, business credit card to start off with. If you don't got any credit, I'll highly recommend going to Chase, opening up first a checkings account so you can start having like a relationship with that bank, and then getting the Chase. I have the Chase Rise. That card, they give it to you. If you have no credit score, they might give you like a low limit, probably like 300, $500, but at least you have something to start off with. That was the first credit card that I got like independently myself. It was the Chase Rise, and they gave me $1,500 in limit, and then a couple months later I was able to get the Sapphire Reserve, and they gave me $15,000 literally at 19 years old as a limit. So it's good. I also got the American Express Platinum, and that one has no limit. But if you guys want to start off, get the Chase Rice card. That's a good one. You got any card, Frankie?
Fuck, I'll show you guys. Do I have cards? God damn, bro.
Y'all cash, bro.
Nah, bro. I got fucking cards like crazy, bro. I have at least 40 cards. There was a time where I went crazy on like traveling, and I got every fucking card you can think of.
I got this.
So, all the Amex, the best card to start off with. I like the Capital One Venture, and the reason why is because it gives you the highest limits. So Capital One Venture, and the approval rate is a lot easier than to get Chase. Chase is by far the number one card that I use over Amex, but Capital One was a lot easier to get approved. And I remember I got approved for like a $10,000 card. My limit now is like 125,000 on that card exactly. And then the Amex is charge card, so there's not a limit. It's like you spend 20K, they let you spend it, then you spend 50K and so on. Like, so that's what's cool about Amex. The best card though that you can possibly have in my case is called the Chase Hyatt card. So it's a Chase Hyatt card. And the reason why this card is really important to me is because Hyatt has the best fucking hotels you can ever think of. Hyatt owns like a chain of Las Vegas casinos and a bunch of shit. They're in partners with them. So I traveled literally all over the world, bang for my buck with points for free just because I've used this Chase Hyatt card. And now like I'm the highest member there. So when I get there, I can check in early. I can check out at 4:00. I get free parking. I get bumped up 2 levels of like upgrades. Sometimes they give me penthouse. So Chase, yeah, definitely Chase is a good one. The Hyatt one. Amex is like standard. You guys are gonna spend like $500 to $700 a year by having an Amex Platinum card. But yeah, Capital One gives you the basics. It gives you priority pass too. When you guys go to like a fucking LAX or wherever, they have priority pass lounges. You can chill there instead of waiting where everyone else is at. They give you like free food, free drinks, and shit like that. So when I travel, I'm always at a lounge. Amex has one too, for the most part. Everyone has one.
No, that's good, bro. And let's say not talking about credit cards. Do you use your own liquid money, or you use like credit or loans to like fund your businesses?
So, I mean, we use a lot of credit cards. Like most of my businesses are ran through credit cards because I want the points. There's no point of me like spending money through debit and then paying it off then and there. I only spend what I know I'm going to pay back. So I know I have 30 days. So if I spend $5,000 on some shit, well, I know I can pay that $5,000 off in 30 days. So not only do I get a 30-day delay, I get $5,000 worth of points or miles. And eventually I can just travel for free. So I've had like millions and millions of points accumulated and on all different accounts. And the cool fucking part about this, guys, is I have 40 different cards, right? For a reason, because when you get a certain credit card, there's benefits to certain airlines. Like for instance, I have an American Airlines card, and I got bumped up to like the highest level of American Airlines. So I've actually gotten like a first class ticket because I've gotten this. I get 2 free check-in bags. I get to skip and I got to go to priority, the priority line. So when everyone's waiting for check-ins, I just walk in straight up. Sometimes you get clear for free. You get, if you get Amex, I know you get like TSA Global like for free too. They give you credit on that. There's just a bunch of shit. Some of the cards that I have, I use National and Avis for car rentals. They give me the highest level of car rental. Even though I'll book like a fucking Kia or a Toyota, I can drive away with like a badass SUV, Tahoe, Camaro, Mustang, whatever they got, the best car they got in the lot. And just because I have the highest level of access, I usually get a card just because it gives me that access. It jumps you up.
Badass. Okay, cool. So we got 3 more. We're gonna do 3 more questions just to end it off, and then yeah, we just call it a day from there. So we got Abel Rojo, we got you, bro, and then we got Dos Banderas, and then Josie Guerrera, and that'll be the last 3 questions we're gonna take.
Okay.
So,
Yo, Frankie.
What's
So
up?
I've been following your brands for like a minute now, and I remember seeing Drip Creations like on every influencer's feet, like Charlie D'Amelio, like everybody. So like, how did you like get to the point where you had everyone like wearing them?
So we created that, like, you know, I talked about knowing your audience.
Yeah.
Our customer for Drip Creations was influencers. We wanted to create a brand for influencers. That's different. No one has done that. Well, there's people that have done that, but not like on my level. Not a small timer like me that doesn't have tens and tens of millions of dollars to throw out a business. So I sought out to find a community of influencers, and that was literally like my customer. So when I started noticing our first 2 weeks in business, because at first I wanted it to be guys, I was making sneakers for guys, and then eventually I saw it was like 3 influencers bought our shit, and they were girls. I was like, what the fuck? These girls have like millions of followers. Like, what's going on? And then one YouTuber bought our shit, and we did like $20,000 in sales one day. And then, like, I just knew from then it was just gonna be for influencers. So every single product, every single thing we made was always for influencers. The secret sauce, though, was that we never paid an influencer for promotion. And we worked with 1,500 plus influencers. We've never paid them. We never paid Billie Eilish. We never paid Ariana. We never paid any of these people. Logan Paul, Jake Paul. The reason why they did it for free or the free promo, was because we were able to put what they love on something. So for Logan Paul at the time, he was launching like his Maverick Club, and we put his logo on our shoes, and he was willing to promote it as a gift. So we started sending out a bunch of free shoes to everyone, and we put what they love, we customized it for them, and it was game over. The shoes were a canvas, and we painted what they loved on our shoes. So it was perfect. And through them, we got free promotion, and was just the product that we paid, and that was it. It was like a snowball effect. If you wanted to become an influencer, you had to fucking be a brand ambassador for Fashion Nova, Sheen, and then us, Drip Creations. You know, we were part of that circle, and that was their goal. I remember seeing mood boards of like aspiring influencers, girls that wanted to become influencers. And I remember seeing their boards on the wall, and it said Drip Creations like it was like there. So we became that part of that circle. Like, if you want to become an influencer, you have to wear these 5 different products or be a part of them. And it was sick because it created a snowball effect.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for that question. For answering. Thank you.
Cool. That's badass, bro. Also, before we end this conversation, I would like to mention that last week we picked a winner for the 1-on-1. We're gonna do the same thing this time. So the only requirement would be just to like post it up on your story, tag myself, Frankie as well, and then yeah, that'll be your entry to get a 1-on-1. So we got Dos Banderas. You're up, bro. he asked over here in the comments, how do you keep new content and how do you keep new content and consistent with small numbers of designs to the public, the so they won't get bored? And what platforms are good to learn like marketing?
You want to answer that?
Well, let's say with Galofino, we do release like limited designs, right? We always drop 14 styles, but um the reason that Galofino is always alive is due to the hype that we have to it, how it's limited, and how we drop at least every 2 months. So we're not like always like bothering our audience, and so that allows us to give them a break every time that we don't drop. We give them a break, but once we drop, we have them engaging. We do the giveaways, and that's how we're able to connect with our audience and not have them, like bored, and like bugging them every day. Um, and then what platforms are good to learn marketing? Go through YouTube. YouTube would be probably one of the best platforms, and it's for free. But good thing you got us for the CMQZ network, so this is going to be probably your best platform. Let's say for learning for the hats, clothing, because we're going to give you like all the tips and advice regarding that. And finally, we have Chelsea Herrera.
Hola, hola, muy buenas tardes a todos.
Buenas tardes.
Sí, mi pregunta es, ¿cuál fue la estrategia que usaste de marketing para llegar a donde estás ahorita?
His question is, what was the marketing strategy that you utilized to be where you're at right now?
So I don't know if he caught it, but it was at the beginning. It was the meme page marketing, which is like those entertainment pages, Like for instance, World Star Hip Hop is one of them. Everybody knows that. That one's just one of the highest ones. Hype Beast is one of them, but there's these smaller pages that have like 100,000 to 300,000. Those are the pages that you guys want to work with, the meme pages.
Cool. Okay, perfect. So
Did he catch that?
¿Sí entendió?
Sí, más o menos. Sí, porque ahorita nosotros con mi amigo tenemos lo que es una marca de ropa que son camisetas. De hecho, es la que ando llevando ahorita puesta.
Ajá.
El logotipo y todo. Ya tenemos todo listo, ya la marca está registrada, el logo también. Entonces, lo único que nos está costando ahorita es poder subir un poco las ventas. Queremos llegar a hacer ventas porque no tenemos ventas en línea ahorita. Nada más a personas que compran por la calle, que les gusta la tela, la marca, el logotipo, todo.
Okay, yeah, he's basically saying that he currently like sells just to the public. He doesn't have like a website set up, but he's about to get into the online sphere and start basically selling on there. So yeah, he just wanted to know exactly what that strategy was. But I think we're gonna end today's call. I really appreciate your time, Frankie. Honestly, it just means a lot to us. All the gems that you gave us. Honestly, thank you everybody who was part of this conversation. And follow Frankie. We have his Instagram tag below. And honestly, Frankie, thank you so much. Any like a last word you want to say?
Man, guys, look, I know it sounds cheesy, but literally don't give up. When shit gets hard, when things get difficult, just know that if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So just keep at it. If I can do it, literally anybody can. Like straight up. I started with nothing, literally nothing, just like some of you are right now. And I was able to figure it out. So if I can do it, I know you guys can. I ain't the smartest person in the world. I'm just one of the hardest working. So you guys got this shit. Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank you.
Frankie.
Also, I would like to
Frankie.
mention too that my team is gonna post a thing where you guys are able to send me like your merch or whatever you guys are dropping, and next week we're gonna go like over it like one by one and kind of giving like an honest opinion regarding your brand, and we're gonna help you how to improve the product itself. So product development, that's gonna be the next meeting that we're gonna have. But yeah, Frankie, thank you so much once again. Thank you. Have a blessed afternoon. Thank you so much.